At this time, we recognize Senator Francis Heyliger. You're recognized for your 4 minutes.
Thank you so much. Good morning to my colleagues. Good morning to the testifiers. Good morning to the people of the territory. First, I want to applaud my colleague for this piece of legislation as we sit here and listen to so many of the information and statistics as to how needed a program like this to deal with the overall coordination of fatherhood and making sure that the tools and the information is there compounded to make sure that our fathers get what they need. I think for me, one of the things I want to first ask, I will directly deal with Head Start. What were some of the programs available to fathers during this pandemic? Because as you know, it was a shut-in period. Did you have any, or did you see any issues in regards to dealing with the pandemic and fathers still being able to play and participate with their children?
Yes, as I wrote in the testimony, and I don't see our Head Start administrator, if she's on, she can definitely come up. But because of the pandemic and not having the in-person and really reductions in staff and outbreaks and surges, it has really slowed down all of our other initiatives other than the direct education of our Head Start children. But we are anticipating within very shortly, we are praying that the surge reduces and that we can get back to doing more activities for our promotion of healthy fatherhood in our Head Start program.
What are some of the suggestions that any of you would recommend to be part of this council? I could share with you what I would like to see, but I would also like to see some of the things from some of the different agencies and nonprofits where they feel that they could bring something, or what you should be, that should be a part of this council.
Well, for me at Human Services, we really want to fully collaborate with this council. We don't believe in recreating the wheel. So successful practices and activities can be reconsidered and maybe just reimagined as we really push forth now with the council, because there's been some wonderful activities that have been done in the past. And we definitely want to support the Department of Justice, Paternity and Child Support Division with all of their initiatives.
Anyone else?
I would love to see a pastor.
Okay, that's a plus. Any other suggestions? Well, for me, one thing I would definitely like to see a part of the council is reading the bill, and I have expressed this in talking to the sponsor, that I hope that the council has different types of programs as it relates to the development of fathers from an initial onset. A lot of what I was reading with the program is how to get them to be good fathers after the fact. But I think if we had a lot more programs where you were educating young men and young women as to becoming parents, ultimately becoming fathers, decision-making process as to how life would be if you choose the right partner, etc., that a lot of times could help alleviate and push forward more towards the prevention side of it, as opposed to trying to create great fathers after the fact. So I would definitely hope that those types of programs as well would be a part of the council.
Time.
Oh, sorry. The other thing I wanted to ask is, when it comes to the successfulness of a program such as this, what elements do you see that might be important to guarantee its success? Because I do applaud all the various efforts that I've been hearing from the different programs, but if we're going to create a council, what elements do you think needs to be included to guarantee its success?
Your time was called, Senator. Who are you asking that question to?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Anyone in general, because everyone is just offering their thought process on it.
Very well. Commissioner?
Yes, Mikhail Reimer Brown, Human Services. I was thinking that the council will definitely need a very strong outreach, community outreach to include social media and marketing to get the message out there. I love the name Father Buzz, the program that DOJ is going to be doing. So we got to create a buzz in the community. So we see commercials, we see media, social media out there on YouTube. And as you said, Senator, a prevention approach and working with our young men beforehand, before they become fathers.
Exactly. Well, I really appreciate that, because you are correct with us creating programs, and the public might not be aware and not recognize that this is a positive thing to really help them. I think that's a very key element. But I look forward to seeing this council being formed and the individuals being placed on it. I do take note, Mr. Joseph, of your thought process of having a pastor. And hopefully, once the governor is making his recommendations, that this will also be something that he does take note of as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heyliger. And at this time, do I hear a motion?
Amendment.
Senator Alma Francis Heyliger, you're recognized for your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I offer amendment number 33286, amendment to bill number 340055, offered by Senator Milton E. Potter. Bill number 34-0055, section 2, is amended in following instances. A, internal section 72 is amended in subsection B, paragraph 6, by 1, inserting after conferral with the family court judge in each district after report. 2, striking January 31 and inserting November 15 in its place. 3, and adding a sentence at the end of the paragraph to read, the report must be based on fiscal year, calendar year of the Virgin Islands government. B, internal section 73 is amended. 1, by striking 10 and inserting 11 in the first sentence, and 2, in the second sentence by A, inserting, and the director of the Division of Paternity and Child Support of the Department of Justice or their designee shall serve as after the first sentence of services. B, striking and before ex officio, and C, striking member and inserting members. I so move.
Thank you. Amendment properly offered by Senator Francis Heyliger, seconded by Senator Janelle Sorrow and Senator Samuel Carrion. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Amendment. Francis Heyliger, you're recognized for amendment.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I offer amendment number 34-394, amendment to bill number 340055, offered by Senator Milton E. Potter. Bill number 34-0055, section 2 is amended in the following instances. A, internal section 72, subsection A is amended. 1, in the first sentence by striking Department of Human Services and inserting paternity and child support within the Department of Justice. 2, in the second sentence by striking Department of Human Services and inserting paternity and child support division. And 3, in the third sentence by striking department and inserting division. B, internal section 3 is amended by striking Commissioner of the Department of Human Services and inserting Director of Paternity and Child Support within the Department of Justice. C, internal section 80 is amended in subsection A and C by striking Commissioner of Human Services and inserting Director of the Department of Paternity and Child Support within the Virgin Islands Department of Justice. D, the bill summary is revised to reflect the amendment. I so move.
Amendment properly offered by Amendment 34-394, properly offered by Senator Francis Heyliger, seconded by Senator Janelle Sarro, Senator Kurt Vielle, Senator Samuel Carrion. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Do I hear a motion? Senator Gittens, you're. And at this time, we'll recognize Senator Francis Heyliger. You're recognized for 7 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to my colleagues. Good afternoon to the testifiers. Good afternoon once again to the people of the territory. My first set of questions is a joint question to both hospitals and the board, if applicable. I heard some inside of some of the testimony that spoke to ordering of supplies and potential cost savings. I would like to know, is there some way that bulk orders could be done collectively between the two hospitals in order to effectuate a greater savings? Because if they're both utilizing the same thing, it's one government, is it more prudent to order supplies in one larger bulk that could realize more savings? Is this something that can be done?
Senator, could I start with the answer?
Yes.
Thank you. It's been a priority of the board to push that whenever that is feasible. We haven't found many opportunities yet. What we have found is at times when one hospital is looking at a certain cost, we discover that the other hospital has actually been able to find a cheaper way to do things, and then that information is used by the first hospital to save money. One of the focuses of the hospital redevelopment team is going to be that as we develop the new facilities, we are to the greatest extent possible going to use the same equipment, so that if there's a certain brand of elevators that is bought, we'll buy that elevator brand throughout the territory. The same with generators, et cetera. That will help with being able to have supplies, to be able to, because very often these things have to be fixed from the States, with us being able to learn how to fix them locally, because everyone will be using similar items, et cetera. And if one hospital has supplies and the other one doesn't, and very recently we had that Schneider Hospital was able to help Juan Louis out with an oxygen emergency. So we're doing that to the greatest extent possible. Okay.
And as it relates to PPP supplies, is there still a major issue with that? Are you guys figuring that out? Any one of the CEOs can share that with me. CEO Cox, CEO Commission.
Hey, thank you, Senator. I'm going to defer, again, being my 14th day here, I'm going to defer the question over to our CFO, Chanel Moret, to answer that question for you.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? So in response to your question, yes, we do continue to experience some supply chain issues, and they do affect our people. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
And they do affect sometimes this delivery of our PPEs. When the COVID pandemic first started, we did, however, put in some big orders of the main necessity PPEs that we would need, the gloves, the gowns, all level of the gowns. And so we do continually monitor the level of PPEs that we have. And in addition to that, we do report daily to the Federal Health and Human Services website our levels of PPEs as well. So that is being tracked on both ends.
Okay. Is it one or both hospitals that have a bill reduction amnesty? Who's doing that one? I think I heard part of from JFL, or are both of them doing that?
Good afternoon, this is Chanel again. The JFL hospital is right now in the middle of a 2021 amnesty program. Would you like me to explain the program?
Yes, and what are the requirements to participate in the bill reduction program?
Right, so in order to be able to participate, you just would have to have had service done at JFL through December 31st, 2021. We do have different discounts that are available based on the time of when your service is performed.
Okay.
And those discounts can go all the way up to 50% depending on the time frame of your bill.
Okay, well, that's good. Is there a deadline for when this amnesty is going to be completed or finished?
Yes. Right now, the amnesty is scheduled to end on March 31st, 2022. So we do urge the community to please call into the numbers that CEO Cook mentioned. The information is also on our website as well, and we have done a few radio shows as well. Please call in and take advantage of this program.
Okay. Miss CEO Commission, as it relates to the health information database, I think it was $5 million I had read was given for this specific project. As it relates, does anyone have anything on that?
Good.
Hi. I was hearing an echo, but I can't hear anyone now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Your mic is mute. Your mic is turned off. Oh Lord.
ICO, you're on mute.
Hi, thank you, Senator. Thank you for the question, and apologies for the connection difficulties we're having right now.
No
Yes,
problem.
we did receive some funds towards our technology upgrades. It wasn't to the tune of $5 million, but we were appreciative of what we have received so far. We need to identify some supplemental funding to be able to complete that project, though we've gotten very good feedback from the governor's team, including Director O'Neill, as to the potential for some funds that have come in territory that can be used for healthcare that we may be able to apply there. And we also would thank the legislature for continuing to support us in that effort through future allotments. Thank you, Senator.
All righty. Mr. Smalls, as it relates to JFL North, can you identify to us what do you believe is the greatest cause for the delay in the opening of this particular facility? Because we've been hearing it's opening, and I think you just said July is the next date. What do you think has been the major factor as to why it's taken this long?
Good afternoon, Senator. Really, there's been a number of events that transpired from the inception of the project. Again, this is kind of a new process. When I say a new process, FEMA really has never done a temporary hospital or an interim hospital. So So typically this is not a normal endeavor. So there's been a lot of hurdles that we've had to overcome. I think we've come a long way, and FEMA is definitely on board with us now. The contractors are on board with us. The funding has been made available. Even locally, the Office of Disaster Recovery has facilitated prompt payments, or what we would call early payments to the various contractors for these long lead items that are going to be necessary for the project. So I think all of the steps are in place right now to ensure the timely completion. I really can't speak, from the initial inception of the project, but I can tell you where we stand today, that we're confident in getting this project completed.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chair, may I ask my final question?
You may wrap up, Senator.
Thank you so much. As a representative of the people of this territory and being concerned about working environment for my constituents working at the hospitals, one of the things I had gotten complaints about and concerns about, specifically when it came to JFL, there seems to be an issue as it relates to sexual harassment, according to some of the employees. And they seem to be very concerned with the process as to filing complaints. And have you or anyone been getting any excessive complaints of sexual harassment in the hospitals? And how do you handle these situations?
Thank you, Senator. This is Doug Cook. I will begin to answer that question and then defer to our acting Chief Human Resource Officer, Terry Lynch. Sexual harassment is taken very seriously in every organization and as well as at Juan Louis Hospital. Since I've been here for 14 days, I have not heard of any incidents or concerns. I've held town hall meetings with staff so far, walking around talking to employees. I have not heard any incidents or concerns of that, but I will, again, to answer your question fully, defer over to our human resource, Terry Lynch.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Senator. Terry Lynch, Acting Chief of Human Resources here at JFL. Just to reflect what CEO Cook said, sexual harassment is a very serious accusation, and we address that as one of our high priority issues if it's an employee concern. And I have to echo his sentiments. The HR department has not received any complaint of sexual harassment, I can say, for the calendar year of 2021. So if any of your constituents have reached out to you with some concerns, please urge them to make sure that they forward any of those complaints to the HR department.
Okay, so within the calendar year of 2021, which ends and begins when? I just want to know for clarity.
So the entire year until present, actually. So for 2021, which ended December 2021 until present, I haven't actually received any sexual harassment complaints.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for putting that out to the public as well. And I do appreciate you sharing that, and I will be definitely following up. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heilig. I just want, there's still a number of questions to be asked in regards to the hospitals. So we'll do a 3-minute round. Senator Alma Francis Heyliger, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon once again to the people of the territory, testifiers, and my colleagues. I want to find out quickly, in regards to dealing with patients that need services that have to go off island for these services. I did listen to the testimony, and it said that there were some improvements in providing additional services. What services do either of the hospitals see that they have a high number of clientele that has to leave the island because the hospital cannot provide those services? And what, if anything, is being planned to do about it?
Thank you, Senator. Doug Cook, CEO of JFL. Again, only being here a short time, I will rely on my colleagues for the answer. But then the short answer is the two major service lines affecting offline transfers for JFL is cardiology and neurology. And specifically regarding cardiology, one of the main issues is not having a functioning cardiac cath lab that has caused an interventional cardiologist, which has caused many of our transfers offsite.
Okay. Schneider? Anyone from Snyder Hospital could respond to that? Okay. Oh, there she is. I think I see. Is she having technical difficulties, Mr. Chair?
Say again, Senator Francis Heyliger.
No, I was asking if there's technical difficulties, if we needed to hold my time.
No, who you pose your question to?
The next, it was one question to both hospitals. One we already answered. We were waiting for Snyder to answer, but they were having some technical difficulties.
ICEO, Commission.
Senator Heiliger, thank you. We were having technical difficulties and I could not hear your question. Is it possible to please repeat your question for us?
Oh, no problem. What I was asking is, what is, from your perspective, the services that you cannot provide that you have to have people go off island for? And if anything being done about potentially in the future making sure you can provide those services?
Yes, Senator. Tina Cummins-Young for Schneider Regional. Thank you very much for the question. Our top two specialties that we transfer patients out for are cardiology and neurology. We have made big strides in improving our cardiology services that are available here. We have a permanent cardiologist who provides support to all of our teams and our emergency department. And we have a rotating program where interventional cardiologists come in and work through our heart and lung center to do scheduled cases and also to do emergent cases that appear while they are on site using our on-site cath lab. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you for that. And this is also posed to both of the hospitals as well. This question has to do with mental health and dealing with the psych ward. Are there psychiatrists in each of the hospitals to provide these services? And please tell me, what is the status of dealing with people with mental illness that do come into the hospital?
Tina Cummins-Young for Schneider Regional. We do have a behavioral health unit that is staffed with psychiatrists, psychologists, and nurses who specialize in behavioral health nursing. We typically have anywhere between 2 to 5 patients admitted to our unit, and we do a considerable amount of stabilization through our emergency department, where we treat patients who come in and need just that stabilization and support. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. JFL?
Good afternoon, Senator. Doris Plaskett, Chief Nursing Officer. We do have a psychiatrist on staff, Dr. Sang. Currently, because of our infrastructure challenges, we do not have a dedicated behavioral health unit. Our patients are seen and treated in the emergency room. We do have staff that are also trained to care for the behavioral health population. In the JFL North, I will share that there are 4 patient rooms so that when we do move over to the JFL North facility, we will be able to have the services to care for on an inpatient. We will have 4 rooms.
So quick follow-up in regards to that. Is there a situation that since if there's serious need of help for these services at JFL and you can't service them outside of the emergency room, do you have something set up that they could potentially be transferred to Schneider that can house them at the moment? Is there any type of interchanging program such as that?
Yes, so we do work closely with Schneider Regional and other off-island facilities if it's evaluated that the patient needs a longer hospitalization or a more acute hospitalization.
Okay, I think I heard my time was called. I want to thank you for indulging me, Mr. Chair, and thank you so much for the 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heyliger.